also disagree with. They shouldn't be allowed to do that, but they're doing it for the purpose of advertising and making money. The government's doing it for the purpose of finding criminal activity and also being able to control the population. That's really what's happening. I mean, you could see it in the militarization of your local police and the spread of the Department of Homeland Security and their equipment worldwide and the buying of the bullets and so on. They're all leading to the state of basically being able to control the population. And that's fundamentally that's what I testified to in Germany when I gave testimony to the Bundestag, that the entire process that it was adopted by NSA and has been spread around the world through all the intelligence agencies is one of controlling and assembling information to be able to control the population, not just in the United States, but around the world. So this is not just threatening us and our democracy. It's a world where we're destroying democracy around the world. And in fact, we're doing such a good job that the Russians and others who we used to call totalitarian states are now adopting the procedures that we've implemented. And this basically tells you that we're on the wrong path. Our government, since Dick Cheney used to, said publicly on television that we had to go to the dark side. Well, that meant we went to the dark side for rendering, torture, murder, drone strikes, spying on everybody. All of this is the dark side. Well, that's not American, and that's certainly not consistent with the founding principles of this government. We were founded on the principles of human rights, and what the processes that are putting in place now are in fact taking those rights away. So the only way we can change this is to stand up. We have to get active, say something. I don't care what it is you say or how you say it, but get up and participate in this government. Make sure that if you oppose this move towards totalitarianism, you need to speak up and say something. You can't be quiet. You have to get out there and participate. And that's really the theme of what I would like to say to everybody in America. And that's what the only way now to do it is to address your representatives and senators and make sure that you push that on them and keep pushing that. And if they don't start saying them, just tell them you're going to fire them by voting against them the next time. That will get their attention, because that's really what they want to do. They want to stay in Congress and be there for years. And that's part of our problem. We don't have term limits, so we end up with what I call petrified politicians in place in Washington. They've been there for so long that it's a never-ending career for them. When you do that with politicians, they tend to think over time that they know better than anybody else, and that they don't have. They believe that they can make the decisions that are right for the country, whether or not the public in the United States would agree or not, or even if they disagree. That doesn't matter. If their opinion says let's go another way, then that's what they do. So that's where we have to stand up as a group, and you have to do this as a group and make sure that the wave of a public opinion hits them in a place that hurts them, and that's at the voting booth. If you vote against them and fire them, that will get their attention. That's the big thing that I would say. Fire the bums, get rid of them. And I would say if there's an incumbent list, if there's a word incumbent after somebody you're in the voting booth, I would say more than likely it's better to vote against them. Like I said earlier, the best way I would see to do it is to randomly select people from the phone book and give them every 2 years a chance to get into office that way. Think about that for a minute. That would mean you get mostly people who would want to be honest. That's certainly a change from what we've got. And you get people who would like to be who would like to balance a budget. That's certainly new. I mean, we reduce the deficit that way for sure. And you'd get mostly people who would like to cooperate to solve a problem. That certainly is new too. So, and the other benefits, think about it, the political parties would be gone. You wouldn't have to do campaigns or any of that. You wouldn't have all this vested interest and lobbyists going on. So you could end up getting all these positive effects by randomly selecting from the phone book. And politicians should realize that from us that we're saying that's a better way to do it than what we've got now. So thank you very much for your time and listening.